Hey everyone, today we're going to go through using this NanoDrop Lite Plus. This works the same way as the other NanoDrops that we have available. It's just that this has a little bit more capabilities to it. So you might see some differences in how it looks and some of the different functions that it has. But when you turn it on, when the power switch is off, is in the back of the instrument. On the front, you'll see this display screen. It'll ask you to select nucleic acids or protein, whatever you are trying to quantify. So we're going to do an example with dsDNA. So nucleic acids is what I will choose, and then dsDNA. No matter if we're choosing dsDNA or one of the other factors, like for example, if I click ssDNA, you're going to see this baseline correction up top. This basically is a correction to help factor out the background UV light so you can get a more accurate measurement. So dsDNA, it's going to automatically prompt you to put in a blank sample. So it's saying to lift the arm. This is the arm. You want to grab it from the little handles on the side, and once it lifts up all the way, it almost locks into position so it doesn't feel like it's going to fall. So where the light ends up traveling through when this is in operation is it travels from this middle piece down through this one. This is the stage where you're going to put the sample. So it's very important to not scratch these or close this roughly or anything that can really mess up the little metal pieces there that the light is going to end up traveling through. So you're going to add 2 microliters of your sample onto the stage. I have some fake samples here. So I have a B for my blank. So your pipette needs to be set to 2 microliters, and you will pipette that on. But when you put the liquid on, you want to do a quick check after, make sure you don't have any bubbles. You'll see the little dot in the center of where the light is going to travel through. So that looks good. It should be centered on that metal piece. You carefully bring the stage down. It kind of gives a little click, and then you'll click blank. You'll hear the instrument make a couple noises as it's blanking the measurement, and now it'll prompt you to measure your sample. After you lift the arm up, it's recommended to take a chem wipe that you've wet with DI water, so like over here, and just give it a little pat on both the sensors, and then also a little dry, just to make sure you don't have contaminants. No bubble, all good. So, I'm gonna lower this again, click measure. So now it's measuring. You can think about why it might be bad for there to be bubbles present if something is trying to use the passage of light to quantify. You know, a bubble could change how that light path actually travels through the sample. It could skew your results, so you definitely don't want bubbles. Okay, so what pops up is your quantity here in nanograms per microliter of the sample, and you have a couple other values on the side here. So A260 is essentially what it's saying is the absorbance value at 260. That's the main absorbance value used for dsDNA, which we selected, and it's what the NanoDrop ends up using to actually help quantify. The A260, A280, and A260, A230 are both values of purity. So 280 and 230 are wavelengths where you might get contaminants absorbed, and remember A260 is where the DNA likely is absorbed. So these are both purity estimates essentially, and you want them to be as close to 2 as possible. Usually around 1.8 is the measurement you want for pure dsDNA, and if it's below that, then that means that you have contamination, which I was expecting to happen from this, and it is what we see. So this can help you decide how you want to proceed with the sample in terms of if you're going to do any sort of cleanup, how much you need to take forward to PCR amplification, and so on and so forth. And whenever you are done, you can always press this home button to go back home, or if it's been a while since you've measured and you need to re-blank, you can just click blank, and it's going to re-prompt you to do that blank again.